Buffalo Bills are making a statement, and it's not just with flashy touchdowns or highlight reel throws. It's with a defense that looks mean, relentless, and downright punishing. And the guy leading that charge right now? Joey Bosa. If Justin Fields is sleeping at all this week, there's a good chance he's seeing Bosa in his nightmares, because from the opening snap to the moment he was forced out of the game, Fields had number 97 breathing down his neck. That wasn't just dominance. That was defensive suffocation. And it started with Bosa living in the backfield like he pays rent there. What we saw from Bosa wasn't a surprise if you followed his career. But this version? A healthy, confident, and motivated Bosa? That's scary. He was closing games, setting the tone early, and making life miserable for the Jets quarterback. There were plays where it looked like the ball was snapped straight to him. Strip sack, recovered fumble, pressures on almost every dropback. This wasn't just a good game. This was the kind of game that changes how teams prepare for Buffalo's front seven going forward. And the crazy part? He's doing it with a smile on his face. Joey Bosa is healthy, he's having fun, and that is very, very bad news for opposing offenses. But it wasn't just Bosa out there causing chaos. This entire defense came out like it had something to prove. Maybe they did. All week long, they heard the noise. The critics talking about the lack of physicality, the missed tackles, the softness against the Ravens. Well, if that game left a bad taste in their mouths, they came out against the Jets like they were ready to rinse it out with fire. No Ed Oliver. No Taron Johnson. 2 key starters gone, and the defense didn't blink. In fact, they looked even more focused, more disciplined, more violent. And yeah, the Jets aren't world beaters, but they looked like a semi-competent offense in Week 1. That same team was held to almost nothing. Justin Fields never had a chance. Missed throws, poor reads, ugly stats. He finished with just over 30 yards passing before getting taken out of the game. And while no one officially confirmed a concussion, he was clearly rattled. Whether it was mental or physical, the Bills' defense broke him early. His lone highlight was a big run, but outside of that, a disaster. And that disaster had a name: Joey Bosa. He set the tone, and the rest of the defense followed. Greg Rousseau, A.J. Epineza, the linebackers, the secondary, everyone got in on the action. Christian Benford and Tre'Davious White were making plays in the backfield. Cole Bishop stepped up big time, even drawing a personal foul that, if we're being honest, showed a level of aggression we've been waiting to see from this unit. The safeties didn't get tested much, but the guys in front of them were making sure nothing got that far anyway. This was the kind of team defense that wins playoff games. And it's only Week 2. Now let's talk about the energy, or lack thereof, in the stadium. MetLife was dead, and not just a little quiet, it was funereal. You'd expect a division rival coming into town, Jets fans excited after a solid performance in Week 1, a chance to go toe-to-toe with the kings of the division. But no, the moment things got tough, the crowd disappeared. Bills fans took over, and you could hear them loud and clear. There was never a moment where Josh Allen had to deal with noise. Never a point where the home crowd felt like an advantage. And that's embarrassing for the Jets. Even Dion Dawkins, when asked about the Jets' defense, offered up some backhanded compliments. So they played hard, gave him credit, but it had that tone of, nice try, little brother. Because for all the supposed talent on the Jets' defensive line, they still couldn't stop the Bills from doing what they wanted. For a while, they gave Josh Allen some trouble, sure. The pocket was collapsing early. He was a little off with his timing. But eventually, like he always does, he found a rhythm. And when he did, the Jets' defense had no answers. Allen spread the ball around with surgical precision. Tight ends were eating. Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, even backups were making plays. Josh Palmer made some key catches. Elijah Moore, playing in his former home stadium, got in the end zone and made sure the fans remembered his name. And you could tell it meant something to him. The celebration, the look in his eye, he wanted that one. And the team wanted it for him. Even Sean McDermott, who rarely singles out players in his post-game comments, made a point to say it felt good to get Elijah some touches. That's a little jab, a little extra something to twist the knife. And speaking of Josh Allen, let's not forget the toughness on display. The man got absolutely rocked, blood pouring from his nose, and didn't miss a beat. Didn't even go to the blue tent. sat on the bench while trainers tried to stop the bleeding, then came back into the game with a tissue jammed in his nostril and kept doing his thing. It wasn't vintage Josh. He had a couple throws he'd probably want back. 2 grounding penalties, a near interception. But still, even when he's not elite, he's dangerous. And the defense made sure he didn't have to be spectacular. That's the key. When your quarterback doesn't need to be a superhero and you still win by 4 touchdowns. That's a great sign. And hey, shout out to Mitch Trubisky. The backup came in cold and dropped a dime on a critical 3rd down. 1 pass, 1 conversion, perfect passer rating. That's how you stay ready. That's what you want in a backup. Hopefully he never has to play significant minutes. But if he does, that throw should give Bills fans some confidence. But let's circle back to what really made this game feel different. Physicality, attitude, that edge we didn't see in Baltimore. The Bills played angry. They played like a team that took every bit of criticism from the previous week and internalized it. The defensive line was winning up front. The linebackers were flying to the ball. And the Jets, slowly but surely, gave up. 4th and manageable? They punted. Down by 3 scores? They kicked a field goal. That tells you all you need to know. Even James Cook got in on the punishment. Over 130 yards rushing, running downhill, lowering the shoulder, and then breaking one for a long touchdown that reminded everyone why he's so dangerous. It wasn't just good blocking. He made a filthy cut and turned a decent gain into a house call. That's what separates good backs from game breakers. This offense doesn't always need 40-yard touchdowns, but when it gets them, it becomes nearly unstoppable. And while the defense stole the show, the offense deserves plenty of praise for the way it handled business. Not with flashy fireworks on every drive, but with control, execution, and a growing maturity that feels new for this Bills team. It starts, of course, with Josh Allen. We've seen the Superman version. The guy who hurdles linebackers, throws across his body, and pulls off the kind of plays that make your jaw drop. But what we saw against the Jets was something more calculated, more cerebral. A version of Allen who didn't need to win the game by himself. And that might be the most dangerous version of all. From the very first drive, it felt like the game was being dictated by Buffalo, even if Allen wasn't hitting deep bombs or launching 50-yard touchdowns. It was more about keeping the chains moving, converting 3rd downs, making smart reads. He spread the ball around, so evenly it was almost surgical. Tight ends got involved early and often, with Kincaid and Knox both making key grabs. The play design on those flat routes was simple, but brutally effective. The Jets just didn't want to cover tight ends. Whether it was miscommunication or just being outmatched physically, Buffalo kept hitting that same soft spot over and over, and the Jets never adjusted. And then there was James Cook, who arguably had his best game in a Bills uniform. He didn't just rack up the yards, he earned them. Every run had purpose. He hit the hole with violence, bounced off defenders, dragged tacklers, and showed that burst when he needed to. That long touchdown run wasn't just a product of great blocking, though Cyrus Torrence absolutely sealed his man. It was also about vision, acceleration, and making a guy miss in the open field. That's what separates good running backs from great ones. Cook looked like a game-changer out there, and with a running game like that supporting Allen, the playbook opens wide. What's becoming clear is that this Bills offense doesn't need to be the Josh Allen show every week. It can be about balance. It can be about picking your poison. You want to stack the box? Allen will find Kincaid over the middle. You want to drop deep? Cook will slice you up underneath. The Jets tried to do both and ended up doing neither. And while Allen didn't throw for 400 yards or 5 touchdowns, what he did do was command the field. He read the defense. He controlled the pace. It's that Tom Brady-like ability to diagnose things before the snap that makes this evolution of Allen so impressive. And yeah, he's still got that crazy playmaker gene. That run early in the game, leaping over his own lineman before taking off down the sideline, that was pure Josh Allen. But now, those plays are icing, not the cake. And that's a good thing. Let's also not overlook the offensive line. After getting criticized for being pushed around in Week 1, they came out with a chip on their shoulders. They held their own against a talented Jets front. They gave Allen enough time, open lanes for Cook, and showed the kind of physicality this team has been preaching. There were still moments where pressure came through, but for the most part, it was clean football up front. And that physical mindset spilled over into every part of the offense. You could see it in the way receivers blocked downfield, the way the tight end sealed the edge, and the way Allen ran when he had to. There was a tone set from the first snap, and it never let up. Defensively, the confidence is growing by the quarter, and not just from the stars. Young guys like Cole Bishop are stepping up. He had a sack, was flying all over the field, and even got flagged for a late hit, which, honestly, just showed the edge this defense was playing with. After a forgettable performance against the Ravens, the Bills clearly wanted to come out and punch someone in the mouth. And that's exactly what they did. The Jets' offense didn't look interested in fighting back. That early 3-and-out set the tone. It gave the offense the ball, gave them short field position, and established that the Bills were going to control the game from start to finish. And look, it's not just about domination. It's about timing. Getting stops when it matters. Forcing punts. Forcing mistakes. The strip sack by Bosa early in the game wasn't just a highlight. It was a momentum swing. It put the Jets in a hole and sent a message that they were not going to be able to just ease into this one. And when your defense makes those kind of plays early, it allows your offense to play with freedom. No panic, no desperation, just a steady dismantling. Another important piece of the puzzle is the growing depth of the roster. Mitch Trubisky's one pass doesn't seem like much in the box score, but it was a clutch throw on third down. He came in cold and delivered. That's the kind of confidence you want from your QB2. Meanwhile, guys like Josh Palmer are showing they can be reliable options when called upon. Elijah Moore proved that he still has some juice, and even if he's not the number one target, he can be that gadget piece, that McKenzie-type role, moving pre-snap, creating mismatches, and keeping defenses honest. And then there's that mental toughness. That moment when Allen took a shot to the face, blood pouring from his nose, and didn't even blink. He didn't run to the locker room, didn't need special treatment. He sat down, plugged it up, and got ready to go right back in. It's not just physical toughness, it's about leadership. His teammates see that, and it fires them up. That's your captain, your franchise player, out there looking like he just walked out of a bar fight and still leading a touchdown drive. That kind of presence is rare, and it's what separates guys like Allen from the rest. The Jets, on the other hand, looked lost. They punted in situations where they should have gone for it. They kicked a field goal while down 20 points just to get on the board. That's not fighting to win. That's playing not to lose by more. That's not the kind of mentality that turns a team around. It's the kind that slowly breaks a locker room. The fans knew it, too. The stadium was silent. No energy. No belief. Bills fans made more noise on the road than the home crowd did all game. It was a home game in name only. Buffalo has now put together a statement win. And sure, it wasn't against an elite team. But that's not the point. The point is that they dominated from whistle to whistle. No fourth-quarter miracles needed. No Allen heroics required. Just clean football, hard hits, smart execution, and a clear message to the rest of the league. When this team is healthy, when this defense is clicking, when the offense doesn't turn the ball over, they're nearly impossible to beat. And that's with Josh Allen playing at maybe 75% of what he's capable of. That should scare everyone. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Whispers have been swirling through the NFL world, and now the league itself has confirmed what fans feared. The highly anticipated matchup between the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills has officially been canceled. The news broke earlier today, sparking a storm of speculation among players, analysts, and diehard supporters alike. While the official statement from the NFL was vague, sources close to team management hint at unforeseen logistical complications as the reason behind this unprecedented move. In New York, fans were already buzzing with excitement for what promised to be a clash of two high-octane offenses. Jets supporters have been counting down the days, imagining spectacular plays and potential breakout performances, while Bills fans were bracing for another demonstration of Buffalo's championship-caliber prowess. But now, instead of tailgate parties and stadium chants, the city faces an unsettling void. Social media erupted almost immediately after the announcement, with hashtags like hashtag JetsBills canceled and hashtag NFL shock trending within hours. Pundits are already weighing in, speculating whether this could have ripple effects on playoff positioning, player morale, and even future scheduling. Inside sources, speaking under the condition of anonymity, suggest that negotiations behind the scenes were tense. Rumors point to a last-minute disagreement over health protocols, stadium regulations, or perhaps even contractual issues, though no specifics have been confirmed. The cancellation has left players visibly frustrated, with some expressing disappointment during interviews and others taking to social media to voice their surprise. Coaches from both sides are reportedly scrambling to adjust training schedules and strategize for upcoming games, but one can't help but wonder if this disruption might tilt the balance of the season in unexpected ways. The NFL has promised further updates, but for now, fans are left in suspense. The cancellation of a marquee matchup like Jets versus Bills is almost unheard of, and the rumor mill is already running wild. Could this be the start of a series of scheduling nightmares, or a one-off hiccup? Only time will tell, but for now, the chatter, speculation, and heated debates are keeping the league alive off the field, proving that even in cancellation, football remains the center of attention. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.